He warmed the hearts of thousands that had come just for a bit of dedication. Mrs. Hannah Atkins did a terrific job as the MC of the program. Well, our congratulations extend to the winners and to all that participated. Today at 12 o'clock, the State NAACP Executive Board will meet at Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Today at 1 o'clock, the Kappa Alpha Psi will present their annual Ebony Bowl with 8 churches participating. Those of you that belong to the various churches that are associated with the bowl, be sure and participate. A special invitation has been extended by Terry Whitaker, the captain of the Fifth Street Baptist Church's Ebony Bowl team, to the members of the Fifth Street Church to come out and support them. Yes, this is the deacons, and if any of you know any deacons that you would like for me to call your deacon's name, be sure and let us know. We would like to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your support. We'd like to thank you for your encouragement and your letters and your smiles. And as we come to the final Saturday in January, we want you to know how much we appreciate you, how much we love you, and how much we respect you. We respect you to such an extent that we have called you, and we are rightfully so, the most intelligent radio audience in the world. You are intelligent because you listen to the Clara Luper radio show. We would like to pause now and think about deacons. Congratulations, Deacon Eli Barber. This is your show. Today's show, this part of it is dedicated to the deacons. Now, we have some exciting programs all wrapped up for you in the month of February, and we want you to become a part of this program. What can bring more happiness than to see a church move ahead? And speaking of moving ahead, we want you to know that the Emmanuel Baptist Church in Spencer, Oklahoma, located at 5510 North Anderson Street, is moving ahead. In fact, on Monday, the dedication of this new, beautiful church will begin. On Monday. Reverend Smith, wherever you are, congratulations, and certainly we would like for you to call us and tell us more about your dedication program. We know that Israel Chapel will be out there on Monday night with the outstanding minister, Reverend Lasky. But we need to know more about the program. I think Metro Baptist Church will be there with Reverend Cummins. But we want to know more about Emmanuel Baptist Church. Well, Emmanuel Baptist Church in Spencer, Oklahoma, and Reverend Smith is taking this opportunity to invite all of you to be with him during these important services. If the cost of your car insurance seems to be headed in the wrong direction, stop and give Burl and Hildred, your Allstate agent, a call. 755-7252. Allstate has a variety of different discounts that can help drive down the cost of car insurance. You can save by having a good driving record, or by driving a car equipped with airbags or a four-wheel anti-lock brake system. You can even save just by insuring more than one car with Allstate. Call Merlin, 755-7252, or you may call at home at 427-8399. Calvin is all smiles this morning. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Really, I just don't know. Maybe you can help me out in radio land. Calvin is smiling today, and he can hardly wait to get on radio and tell his story. And he has a story to tell. Anytime Calvin Luper do what he did on last Monday night, he has a story to tell. Well, I have a story to tell too. Congratulations to the deacons. If you would like to have any of your deacons congratulated, be sure and call us. And congratulations to Deacon All Britain. Congratulations to Deacon Kermit James. Congratulations are coming in. And those of you that would like to have your congratulations, be sure and let us know. Congratulations to the deacons, wherever you are, deacon. Deacons never get paid, do they? They take up collection, they work, and certainly congratulations are coming in for the deacons everywhere. From Robert Gates, the Gates Barbershop would like to congratulate the deacons at the Tabitha Baptist Church.
Mom, you know one reason that he likes to
Congratulations to all of the deacons at the Tabitha Baptist Church from Deacon Robert Gates. Now, when you can congratulate deacons, those deacons don't get paid. Maybe we should have an anniversary for the deacons. I can just hear it now. The deacons have served so well, and they deserve something special. Congratulations to Deacon Howard of the Tabernacle Baptist Church here in Oklahoma City. Congratulations to all of the deacons from the 5th Street Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This is a day that we congratulate the deacons, and this portion of the program is being made possible in Oklahoma City. If you need some eyeglasses, don't worry any longer. Or if you're having any eye trouble, call Dr. Dial. His number is 235-0536. Congratulations to the deacons from the Exotic Flowers Shop, located at 3671 North Everett Street here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Congratulations, deacons, wherever you are. You deserve to be congratulated. So many times we don't stop and say thank you. We don't stop to say thank you. And today we are going to stop on the Clara Luper radio show and say thank you, deacons that served so well, so long, and with so much zeal. Deacons, congratulations to the deacons wherever you are. Congratulations to the deacons from the Shiloh Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. You may call us 672-1220 and congratulate the deacons. Give people their flowers while they live. And I say that all the time. Those of you that have any good things to say about anybody, please say it where they can hear it. And please touch them with love and with understanding. This is a day that we congratulate the deacons, the unsung heroes of our church services. Who would want to be a deacon? I'm telling you, what a job. You visit the sick, I don't know. Maybe somebody will call me and tell me. But congratulations to the deacons wherever you are, and certainly you are people with dedication. Congratulations to you, deacon, because to get to be a deacon, you got to be somebody special. Anybody just can't be a deacon. And because you're somebody special, I would certainly like to congratulate you and wish for you the best. The Freedom Center would like to take this opportunity to thank you wherever you are, to thank you for what you are doing, to put something into action, to show that you are somebody special. One writer wrote, "Blessed are the people that honor their ancestors with pride. Happy is the man who recalls his ancestors. Happy is the man who treasures the story of their greatness, who tells the tale of their greatness. who tells us tales of their heroic lives, will joy to fulfill every moment. Blessed are the people who realize that fate has linked them with a race of good people. How proud of you, of yourselves. It's nothing more satisfying than to receive a telephone call from you saying Freedom Center is looking good. And today I want you to pick up a copy of the Ebony Tribune, and read about it. In fact, I would like for you to keep up with us. I would like for you to take pictures of Freedom Center now, tomorrow, and the next day, because we shall continue to move because of you. You have made it possible. As we write the names of those that have made contributions, and as we prepare to put them as a permanent part of Freedom Center, I know you're going to want your name to be there. And if Calvin Luper will step forward, I would like to congratulate Calvin for what he did last week. He is smiling. He is so happy. I don't know what we are going to do with Calvin Luper today. And I'm looking to hear from Nancy Davis with all of the congratulations. And I would like to tell you that it's something about Freedom Center that's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, the devotion of people to Freedom Center. I was looking at Mrs. Gloria Matthews, who loves young people with a passion, and who has spent her whole life helping young people, not only in a nursery, Chaucer's Sheridina's Daycare and Nursing Center, located at 1645 Northeast 5th Street, 50th Street. Now let me repeat that. 1645 Northeast 50th Street, 424-4656. Mrs. Matthews loves children and has provided the best in educational equipment, in interior decoration, and most of all, surrounded by a staff that cares about children. And she looked at the situation at Freedom Center and donated a whole tile floor. Now, the floor is going to be put in next week, and you know how we are. We are historians. Anytime something happens, we have a ceremony. You remember the light, when the lights came on, how happy we were, and people gathered up there with songs and prayers. You remember. And you remember when we dug the first hole to put down the monument, the base of it. You were there. You know how much, but I cannot tell you in words because my words are inadequate to tell you how much Mrs. Gloria Matthews and others love Freedom Center. To walk in and say, I don't like the rug up here because it is old. It's not what these children should deserve. They deserve the best, and I'm going to see to it that they have the best. Thank you, Mrs. Matthews. And Calvin Luper, how are you?
No, I'm totally fantastic. Like I told you earlier during the program, Baptist Church, Deacon Richardson, who is the president, Deacon Liggins, Deacon Homer, Deacon Wilson, Deacon Newman, Deacon Nelson, and Deacon Whitney have done fantastic jobs on making New Hope Baptist Church a much better church. At Mount Olive Baptist Church, there's Deacon Surratt, and this came in from Denise Brown, who says that Deacon Surratt, along with the other deacons from Mount Olive Baptist Church, has been a tremendous help to her. Then there's the deacons at Pilgrim Baptist Church, where Deacon Manager, Deacon Woods, Deacon Robert Reese, Deacon Andrew Griffin, Deacon Aaron Anderson, Deacon Donnie Blackshire, and Deacon Quentin Smith have been the backbone of that church. And then from the Highland Drive Church of God in Christ, Deacon Floyd Thompson and Deacon Walter Slaughter make sure that the church keeps functioning. You know, there's no telling what may, there's no telling what could happen in a church,
without any deacons.
Without any deacons.
Well, I'd like to congratulate those deacons. Now, we have made a mistake, and one thing about it, on the Clara Luper radio show, when we make a mistake, we go back and correct it. Now, get your pencils and paper and write it down. The deacons are the top. They have to be somebody special. Now, Robert Gates is not a deacon. Did I say that or did you?
You said Robert
I would
Gates
like to apologize.
Okay.
Robert Gates is not a deacon.
But he's on trial to be a deacon.
Okay, you have to go on trial before you can become
That's
a deacon.
That's in the Baptist church.
That's in the Baptist church. Okay. I don't know about anybody else.
But his brother knows that Robert Gates should be a deacon.
Oh, well, that's really good. Well, Robert Gates is not a deacon, but he is on trial to become a deacon, and knowing him, I know that he will pass any test. We would like to congratulate the deacons, the unsung heroes of the church. Deacon Palmer, congratulations to Deacon Palmer, Deacon Bird, Deacon Albritton. Deacons, this is your radio show, and Clara Luper would like to be the first one to congratulate you for the job you're doing. And one thing, I've never heard nobody paying any deacons. Calvin, you have some more deacons?
Oh, Mama, there are deacons out there, and they're calling in, at least those people that know the deacons from the different churches across this city are calling in. And across this state, they're beginning to call in because of the fact they know that they're listening to the Clara Luper radio show, where they know that good things happen, and good things will always happen to those people who listen to the Clara Luper radio show. But on line one here, we have Nancy Davis, who I know is going to talk about the deacons at that dynamic church of hers.
True Vine Baptist Church. Nancy, how are you today?
Oh, Mrs. Luper, I'm just fine, and I want to say congratulations to the deacons. I have a lot of deacon friends.
I want to hear some of those deacons from True Vine Baptist Church.
Well, I have some deacons from St. James that are real close to me, right? And I want you to remember Kenneth Payne, we call it Cookie Payne. David Knowles, who is over at St. James Baptist Church. This is Brady Fraser and Deacon Oria Anderson. All of these in St. James Baptist Church, and I have a very dear friend at the First Baptist Church in Picadilly, Mr. Kenneth Henley. These are good friends of mine, and there are other people too. But I would like to say congratulations to the deacons everywhere. They have done a good job. They're dedicated people. They look out for the church. They look out for the pastor. And I just think it's wonderful when you look out for the people who have helped to build a church. So I'm saying congratulations to the deacons. Now, Mrs. Luper, let me say congratulations. Congratulations to those who have contributed to the Freedom Center Black History Monument. It is just beautiful how my community, the Star Center, and the Dungy community, and all of my friends have made contributions to this monument. And I am so proud to tell you that I attended church over to the First Baptist Church at Pickford last Sunday, and they took up a collection for us of $55.
What are you saying? You went to a church and they gave an orphan of $55 to the Black History Monument.
That's right. To remember that you said that you wanted to get the churches to help in the community.
We have to have the churches help because that's a story of Black history. It's been the support of the churches.
Yes, well, I tell you, my church, the churches here in the Center area, they're helping me. And I cannot forget my church, the True Vine Baptist Church. They've given us $200. And Mrs. Luper, believe it or not, I saw some of my friends the other day, and they gave me money. There's Miss Tony Simmons of Spencer, Oklahoma, and Mrs. Sammy Rogers. Tony Simmons gave me $5. Mrs. Sammy Rogers, $1. My neighbor, Mr. Lawrence Burton, $1. And boy, Mrs. Johnny Lawson, $2. who are going to college. And at the scholarship tea, I just gave my envelope to Mrs. Eunice Lewis, and she sent me in the mail a $10 check. You know that was beautiful.
Well, I want to congratulate you. You were able to beat me on last Monday night, and anytime you beat me, you are good.
Now, Mrs. Luper, you know I came first place,
You came first place last week.
and I came first place for quite a number of races.
Yes, you have been first place 3 times.
But Nancy, you better watch out now. I'm coming up, I tell you.
Watch and see.
Yeah, okay, we're going to be watching and seeing, but you better watch out because, you know, the Calvin Luper, I started out a little slow. I'm kind of like Carolyn Griffin. You know, we start out slow, but we promise you that by the end of the race, we will be there near the tape, and probably I'm going to be the winner. Mom, you and Aunt Nancy and Mrs. Hunter, you're doing a fantastic job. Mrs. Matthews, you're doing an outstanding job. But watch out for us slow starters because we're just building up our energy, getting ready to make sure that the monument there at the Freedom Center, 2609 North Martin Luther King, will be in existence and will be something that you, all of you in the community, will be proud of.
Well, Calvin, I must say congratulations. Congratulations. You came in second place Monday night.
Well, now, second is not good enough because I told you I'm coming up now. Wait, I'm going to announce a little later on just how difficult it was to come in second place because of the fact that you all are setting a heck of a pace. But then watch out. Just watch out.
Yes, and you have to learn to keep working, keep pushing, don't give up, because we know that you and Marilyn and Mrs. Littlejohn and all these others that are working with us, we know that you're going to come up, but it's taking you quite a time.
Well, Auntie, Aunt Nancy, don't worry about it because of the fact, like, you're leading now, but the race does not always go to those who lead at the first of the race. So take your time and be prepared and prepare yourself to be a good loser. And if you lose, if you win, cook me that cake, would you?
Now, Calvin, we want to congratulate you because you're still working with the Freedom Center, with the NAACP youth. You are still working and letting those young people know that there is somebody that they can see. And all they have to do is to work hard and believe and get that education, because we know that education is the key to success. So I want to say congratulations to all of those people giving us their.
Yes? Nancy? Okay, we got lost, but we are having some mechanical problems, not in the machinery, but in the people that's operating them out here, namely Calvin. Calvin is so excited and so happy out here. Nancy, I want you to call back and give me those last words. We would like to today, we are congratulating the deacons, and from Holy Temple Church of God in Christ, Deacon Corbett Jr., Deacon Ellison, Charles Stevens, the pastor, say there should be a day set aside for the deacons because of the good work they do for the church, its members, and the community. Deacons, I would like to congratulate all of the deacons in Oklahoma, and I want to talk about those deacons at the Pilgrim Rest Baptist Church in Hoffman, Oklahoma. Those deacons could sing those hymns so it would just make you want to shout. And my grandmother did shout. She used to shout all over the church. I would like to congratulate, and I want you to call me and tell me, Deacon, I want to take the oldest deacon in Oklahoma out to dinner. The oldest deacon. Now, I want somebody that's been a deacon for 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. The oldest deacon. I want to see to it that that deacon has a good dinner. He deserves it, because deacons work all the time, but they don't get no anniversaries. They don't get no pay. And certainly, they are getting congratulations. Calvin is about to correct everything out here, and we'll be on our way. Congratulations to the deacons. Congratulations, deacons. Oh, I like to hear Deacon All Britain, now the Fifth Street Baptist Church need a hymn. He can do that. And Deacon Bird can too. I like to hear all the deacons. Okay, I need to know somebody that's been a deacon for 50 years.
Mom, will you explain to me what the function of a deacon is?
I cannot explain it. I'm not a deacon, but there are a lot of deacons out there, and there are a lot of people out there that can. I am not going to touch the function of a deacon now.
Why be a deacon? Why couldn't you just be a good, great church member?
Well, somebody will call and tell us why. I can't do that. I have to stay in what I can tell you about teaching. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you very seriously for just a few minutes. This week has been a week of racial disturbance all over this country. We have seen the Ku Klux Klan marching in Denver. We have seen the remnants of a cross that was burned in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, the capital of Oklahoma. Many of us have had to have protection this week from those that would destroy our voices as we cry out for freedom. But then I want to take you to Moore, Oklahoma. In Moore, Oklahoma, according to the parents and students, after a basketball game, there were a group of Americans that happened to be white, that wore white cowboy hats, that started screaming profanity, calling those Americans of different color by bad names. And that developed an atmosphere that could be traced back to bygone years. There were many Americans that happened to be black that were afraid to go to school. There were some that went to school and then left and went home where they could be under the protection of their parents. We were called, and I had the opportunity to talk to the principal of Moore High School. And as I talked to the principal, there were some things that I would like to bring out to those of you. America is for all Americans. Now, when we got ready to go to the Persian Gulf, I didn't hear anybody saying that certain people shouldn't go, because if we could endure the sands of the Persian Gulf, we can certainly endure living in our own country. Yes, the principal said that he was doing everything he could to combat it. I will have the opportunity to go to Moore on Monday. Then I talked to the superintendent of Moore, and he began to tell me what they were doing, how they were getting interracial groups together, sit down, and I wondered what had they been waiting on. Do you prepare for a storm when you see the storm coming, or do you prepare beforehand? And let me tell you something. Do you realize that at Moore High School you don't have any black teachers? Black parents, black leaders. Why don't you do something? Well, if you know of a counselor, call me here, 672-1220. Now, what Moore High School has to do, and the surrounding schools, they must become integrated schools. These are public schools that's financed by the public. Now, for you young blacks, I know how difficult it is for somebody to call you names, but just remember, that's a true sign of ignorance. If you can make the top score on an ACT test as an SCAT test and you don't have sense enough to respect human beings, you are in serious trouble. And I would like to ask our young people in our various schools to practice the philosophy of the man that we honored last week, non-violence. I've been very critical of many of our young black parents who have moved into good jobs and moved into top neighborhoods, but they no longer come back home to NACP, to their local churches and what have you. And I have an announcement to make, and I want to make it out loud. Wherever you are, if you're black, you're just black, and you might as well get ready to face the realities of being black. We are tough people. We don't cry when somebody calls us a name. I can't think of any name that I haven't been called, not only by white people, but by black people. I want you to know that you young people, we don't expect you to act like some other people. We expect you to hold your heads up with dignity. You are a proud people. I don't want any profanity to come out of your mouth. All I want you to do to hold your head up. And if anybody bothers you, we got a way to solve it. This week, the Board of Education, the State Board of Education, everybody's going to work on it. And I'm looking for Mr. Redwine to call me because we're going to talk about some racial trouble in Hobart, Oklahoma. I'm looking for that old deacon. And from Calvin, Mrs. V has called in a deacon that's how old?
Mrs. V is on the line. She'll tell you how old this young man is. From Holdenville, Oklahoma, from the Friendship Baptist Church.
Mrs. V.
Good morning, Miss Luper.
Good morning. I'm so excited about my deacon.
Well, bless your heart. Yes, I think, I don't know, he's the oldest deacon that I know. And it's my grandfather. His name is Ed Lacey. And he has been a deacon at the Friendship Baptist Church in Holdenville for I don't know how many years. I think even before I was born.
You mean to tell me Deacon Ed Lacey is 103 years old?
103.
And that's in Holdenville. Now, what kind of work did he do?
Well, he worked for the city for about 45 years, I think. He retired from the city of Holdenville.
About how many children
Yes,
belong to this deacon?
He has 2 children, my mother and her brother.
And live 100 and still a deacon, right?
Still a deacon.
103 years old.
103.
Mrs. V, not only do I want to thank you for that information, I also want to thank you for the fact that you honored those people that you believed in your heart was keeping the dream of Martin Luther King alive. And on behalf not only of Clara Luper, but others that you honored, I want to say thank you.
God bless you, Miss Luper.
Well, that was Miss V, and she's knocked the rest of you out with those deacons at 60 and 70. She's gotten a deacon who happened to be her grandfather, 103 years old. Well, congratulations to the deacons. You're number 1, Deacon Matthew McDaniels and his staff.
Let's get that right. That's the Church of the Living God, Temple 126. The number 1 deacon there is Deacon Matthews.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Then there's Deacon McDaniels and his staff. Now, those deacons at the Church of the Living God, Temple 126, have put on a new roof. They've painted the inside and the outside of the church, and they work with and for the pastor. Now, there was a young man that called from the Evening Chapel Baptist Church in Spencer, Oklahoma, that was going to tell all of us what a deacon's responsibility was, but I kind of lost him on the line here, but I'm certain he'll call back.
Okay, now these deacons that painted that church and put on the roof, did they get paid for it? I don't know, but I should get an answer. We are saluting the deacons today. I would like, once again, I am so excited because I have the opportunity to do what I love to do. I love to congratulate people because this is the whole basics of living, and God has let me live long enough to congratulate the deacons. Deacons, we are proud of you. We are proud of you, and somebody's going to call and tell everybody throughout Oklahoma, the people that are visiting with Clara Luper, all about the deacons. Well, I got me a deacon. Deacon Lacey, I got to go down to Holdenville and take Deacon Lacey for dinner. I hope he doesn't eat too much. Wonder what would Deacon Lacey want. I hope he doesn't want a T-bone steak. No telling about Deacon Lacey, though. If he's 103 years old, no telling what he wants. Yes, Calvin.
Whatever you want, I'm certain
going to
that
get
he
it.
can get it.
That's right.
But, here online, on one of the lines here, we have a young man that's going to tell us what a deacon's responsibility is. And Brother Redwine is waiting to talk.
Okay, let's talk to Brother Redwine. He's on long distance because he has a story about racial discrimination. Brother Redwine?
Yes, ma'am, Sister Luper.
Are you a deacon?
I am an ordained deacon, not presently serving on the board, Sister Luper.
Okay, well, I'm not congratulating you if you aren't serving now. I'm talking about active deacons. How are you this morning?
Well, I'm just great, Sister Luper, this morning. And you?
Oh, I am fine. I'm congratulating deacons. Would you like to congratulate any deacons in your church?
I'd like to congratulate Deacon Bray, Deacon Bell, Deacon Stevenson, and all the members at Bethany Baptist Church in Clinton, Oklahoma.
Okay, we are now ready to hear a story, and I want you to listen very carefully, Brother Redwine. Ready to hear a story, and I want you to listen very carefully, Brother Redwine.
On the day before yesterday, a weekly newspaper at Hobart, Oklahoma, was so insensitive as to print a letter.
Talk just a little louder for me, please.
Was so insensitive as to print a letter to the editor. It was headlined, "Dear Folks." This letter to the editor has inflamed the Hispanic and black community in Hobart, Oklahoma by the insensitivity of the publisher printing it. And we, myself, from Care Incorporated, and Mary Wright from NAACP, visited Hobart on yesterday. And as we walked into the newspaper, the police department ran in behind us and said there was a bomb threat.
The police department?
Yeah, well, no, they didn't tell us. They told the lady that ran the paper to come to the back of the newspaper. And Mary Wright and myself had gone down just to visit people at Hobart and to buy a copy of this paper. And they supposedly had a bomb threat at the newspaper, they said. They blocked off both ends of the street, but Sister Luper, the people in Hobart are hurt right now. And I think all it's going to take is some communication. Take care of this whole problem down there. The people need to talk. White community, the black community, and the Hispanic community need to talk.
Well, in that letter, what was recommended that they would do with blacks and Hispanics?
Well, it was rumored that as of the meeting on January 28th of the City Council, that blacks and Hispanics would not be able to walk the streets of Hobart during the day. And an anonymous letter to the editor, and which that's very insensitive. I don't think the editor should even print anything like that.
Okay, now when that happened, was it true that on one side you had a large number of blacks that had gathered in the streets?
We had they had blacks and Hispanics that were picketing the newspaper and the tag office at Hobart. I wasn't there on that day. That's the day that I was called to come to Hobart to visit, to see if we could maybe appease part of the minority community in Hobart and see if we could give them some guidance as to how not to go into this thing in a violent manner.
Well, that was the day that we talked to Wanda Ganaway.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. We also called the Attorney General's office. And I would like to say one thing publicly. The secretary at the Attorney General's office was very rude. And very rude. I put it mild. She answered in a way that I don't know what to say about it, but I know one thing. I'm going and file a complaint against her because people are going to have to learn how to talk to people. But finally, we received a call back from the state attorney general's office, and they are working on that case.
Ms. Luper, we appreciate your promptness in helping all of us in Western Oklahoma, and we will certainly be bothering you from time to time as those problems occur out here.
Well, I'm just another one trying to do my best.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Luper.
Well, thank you, Deacon. Go to work. Go to church and tell them you want to reactivate. Okay?
All the time.
Thank you. This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and we are talking about racial disturbance in Oklahoma. And I would like to warn you, it's going to get worse because a Duke is running. Now, what we've got to do is to run, too. We've got to run and register and vote. I would like to say, if you aren't registered, you had better get registered because we are headed for the worst. We have a president who's sending food everywhere else except to the hungry people in America. We've got to vote, and we cannot vote unless we are registered. I have a sad story that I want to tell you. It is sad as far as I'm concerned. I was thinking that black people were making some money in the health and human services, in the welfare department, but did you know it came out in the paper? Did you see all those salaries? Only two blacks. Now let's count them. 2 blacks in the State Department. I'm talking about health and human services that were making over $50,000 a year. 2. 2. And one of them was making $106,000 a year and stated they were going that there would be some cutting. Guess who's going to be cut? The middle people. Now, I immediately, when I read the article, got upset because all of the black state elected officials that we have, they haven't told you that we only have 2 blacks that's making $50,000. And as I looked at that list, some of those people that's way up there do not have the educational background as some of the blacks. And the black social workers, I thought they were making some money. So I called Carolyn and asked her to prepare me a list of every state employee's salary that was making over $30,000, between $30,000 and $40,000 bracket. I shall give you that report next week, and you're going to be shocked. Here we've gotten complaints about how rude some of the case workers were, and they aren't making any money. Why don't they say something? Why is it that your senator, your representatives don't tell the people that blacks out there in the welfare department aren't making money in comparison with their qualifications and their experience? This is a shame. I would be ashamed to be an elected official of Oklahoma and hadn't told my people, I hadn't cried out for civil rights, SILVER, civil rights. How can you look at me and grin and tell me everything is all right, and then I pick up the newspaper and only 2 TWO blacks in that welfare department are making over $50,000 a year? Well, I can say one thing about Carolyn. Carolyn got busy and got that report for me, and I have right here in front of me the salaries of all of the people that's making between $30,000 and $40,000 a year. Now, black people, I'm going to tell you something. You are not understanding what must happen in America. We must make some money. We cannot grin and be rude on these little $26,000 a year jobs. We've got to be ourselves. And as far as you running, telling on somebody else, you might as well stop it, because you aren't making no money. And get smart with me, and I'll read your salary, and you'll be embarrassed. How you're walking around talking about you're a supervisor. You're a supervisor on custodian salary. Clara Luper reporting that this program is dedicated to the deacons. Calvin.
You're absolutely right, Mom. On line 2, you've not missed a word today, and it's really exciting being out here on the board because I keep making all these mistakes. But the deacons understand, because there's a deacon named Matthew McDaniels of the Church of the Living God at 3520 North Cali. He follows the pastor. He's a graduate of Langston University. All 4 of his kids also are graduates of Langston University. The best thing that ever happened to the Church of the Living God at 3520 North Cali is Deacon Matthews. Now, that's what someone called
Deacon Matthews?
Deacon Matthew McDaniels.
Okay, now who is...
But who we need to talk to is Johnny Magnus. And Johnny, how are you doing this morning?
Doing just fine.
Okay.
Johnny, will you speak up so Clara Luper can understand you?
I said I'm doing just fine.
Okay.
Johnny, you were saying something about the solution to the problems that we face as black people.
That's correct. Maybe not exactly a solution, but a good start, which I'm sure Ms. Luper has already instilled in black people, but it's something that
I don't think that I hear much of around my own community and around the state and just all the places.
Move just a bit back from your telephone.
Okay.
Okay, now I want to make sure that you come in clear because I want to hear you, okay?
Can you hear me good now?
Yes, yeah, that's so much better.
So, Miss Luper and Calvin, I believe it is, all I'm saying is that we as black people, if we just look and be more positive. I've been around so many of my brothers and sisters that's always talking about how the Caucasian man is doing us in, how we don't get any respect, and how things are just so bad. And it's true, racial tension does exist in this state. But I believe if we just look over the problem and continue to strive toward our goals and our dreams and take the opportunities that are there for us instead of saying that we'll never get anywhere and whatnot like that. I'm not saying that's how anybody on the station talk. I'm just saying that's what I hear so many saying. And if we just look over the problem, look over the negativity, and look at the positive, whether we can advance so much further in our lives and we can overcome so many great things through the positive mind, but rather than through tearing down our Caucasian brothers and sisters.
Well, certainly I'm not tearing him down, but I want you to pull something positive out of that human and welfare department or whatever it's called when only 2 blacks out there are making over $50,000 a year. And most of the blacks are at the bottom. Pull something positive out of that for me.
Ms. Luper, first of all, I would like to say I'm not tearing you down. I believe that you have been doing great through all of these decades. All I'm saying is that the Department of Human Services, it seems through the statistics that you've given that raciality does exist there. That's without a shadow of a doubt. But I believe the positive factor is you look at the 2 that are making the money, and we can take the other ones who are not, and they can look at them and say, we can too. And the positive is to move toward it and to do something about it. I heard you saying that you're going to file a complaint against the lady that was very rude. They need to make petitions. They need to file complaints, and they need to move on.
Well, you are exactly right. The social workers and others need to get that list and see how far they are and complain. I know I would certainly complain if I found that I had a master's degree and all of that, and I was making less than people with no degree.
Yes, ma'am. And Miss Luper, we as a people, we can move around. And if I could just say this, I had a classmate when we graduated from high school. He applied for one job, and he didn't get it, and he thought that the white man was having so much prejudice against him. And it could be very true. But I just want to say this. Raciality does exist in the state of Oklahoma, but we cannot give up. We have to continue to press on, and we have to take the opportunities that are there for us and make those opportunities better for us. And we have to make job openings for ourselves. We have to make those positions. Just like when you lay down in front of the bulldozers and the wreckers or whatever it was back in the 60s, that's the same kind of determination we still have to have. We don't need a give-up attitude. We need to just keep on pressing and keep on striving. Don't let anybody get in our way. And we can't let anybody take anything away from us. And like you were saying before, through a non-violent way. Not through any violence like we saw on the news here recently. Not wrapping a fist around somebody's head. That's not going to get it there. That would just say that everything that they said about us or think about us is true.
Okay, well, thank you so very kindly. I do have someone that's waiting. Thank you so very kindly. This program is being made possible by your barber, Gates Barbershop, located at 2609 North Martin Luther King Avenue. Mr. Gates say he's ready. He is ready along with Wilbur Miles and Willie Gamble to take care of business from 8 o'clock a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. That's a Gates Barbershop. Johnny? Oh, Johnny, I've got to talk to Johnny Magnus. Ladies and gentlemen, now what black people got to do now is get us some think tanks. We got to think. Why is it that our elected officials have not told us what a poor shape we are in that welfare department? The black social workers. I thought the black social workers are really getting after it. I see them at their beautiful dinners. I see them, I hear them. But what I want to do is to see if the black social workers know how far behind they are of everybody else. And maybe they are scared. Maybe they are scared of being fired. But I can tell you what Martin Luther King said: do your job so well that no one else could do it better. We are talking about making money. And until black people make enough money and know how to handle their money, we are in serious, serious trouble. We've got to educate our children. If you're a social worker, you still got to buy bread like everybody else. And if you have your master's degree in advanced work and you are working on a lower salary, that's discrimination. Maybe they didn't know it was discrimination. But if you don't know it's discrimination, come by my house and look at that list and see where you are on salaries in comparison with everybody else. Maybe they have not complained, because if they had complained, everything would have been all right. Everybody else. Maybe they have not complained, because if they had complained, everything would have been all right. Somebody has just called and said, that's why I don't get on. Clara Luper's never been appointed to any of these commissions. No, you aren't telling the truth. I was appointed to the teacher's retirement and served with dignity for one day until the governor fired me. One day, and I got a record, and I can put it on my resume that I was a member of the retirement board. Now, what I wanted to know with that board was, why is it that we don't have some more blacks out there? Why is it we don't have some black lobbyists and what have you? Well, somebody's going to have to ask some questions. And those of you that are on these commissions, you aren't on there just to sit up and be flowers. I was shocked when they told me that the Black History State Committee didn't even know we were building a monument to blacks. Well, this is the Clara Luper radio show. Okay, Calvin, I want to know, how did you get ahead of everybody else?
Well, it's very easy, because of the fact that I'm a dynamic young man, handsome, short, black, and I work very hard to make sure that the NACP Youth Council, the NACP, and the monument are functioning affairs. The NACP Youth Council, the Freedom Center, is going to be a very beautiful place, thanks to a lot of those people that listen here at the Clara Luper
Okay,
radio
I
show.
want to hear what happened to you last Saturday.
Well, last Saturday, I had a great opportunity. I enjoyed some of the best chili that I've ever eaten. And I saw you enjoy some of the best.
Sure, of course I enjoyed. When I found out that you were going down to the Pearson, I knew I had to go down. I wanted to see Mary. I had the opportunity to meet her mother, but most of all, I had the opportunity to eat that Mary Pearson's chili.
Now, that was outstanding chili, and I don't even think that's the right adjective for it. You know, that's a type chili that deserves to be in the contest. But L.D. Pearson and his beautiful wife, Mary, they gave a contribution to the monument at Freedom Center to make sure that the monument would be a reality. And they were fantastic, and you know, we had an opportunity.
Okay, I want to know, what did they give you?
They gave us a substantial contribution. That contribution was only $100.
Only $100. Look at it. He's just grinning. He's so happy.
Because of the fact that later on that week, you know, I had a couple more contributions that came in for the monument there.
But let me tell you.
But L.D. Pearson and Mary Pearson, they made you break your face.
Oh, they really did. Not only that, what's so nice about it, ladies and gentlemen, we had the opportunity to go into the beautiful home in Moore, Oklahoma of the Pearsons. What was beautiful was not only their personality, their warmth, their hospitality, their love, but Mrs. Mary Pearson made one of these old-fashioned cakes that will make you walk.
Now, you're absolutely right, Mom. But thank you so much, L.D. Pearson. Thank you so much, Mary, because Mom has been talking about that all week and looking forward to telling everybody that listens to the Clara Luper radio show about the good time that she had there. So, Mom, you said it, and we dedicated this show to the deacons, and we know that the deacons are important to the church, but then there are people like L.D. Pearson and Mary that are important to the community also.
Well, thank you so much, Calvin, and thanks to the Pearsons. We have dedicated this program to the deacons that are on their way. And I would like to wish for each one of you deacons a lot of success. Not only shall we take Deacon Lacey out to dinner, but we shall give to Deacon Lacey one of our outstanding congratulations. We will do it. One of our outstanding congratulations. But those of you, Clara Luper's behind. For the first time in my life, I came in third place. And that meant you came in third place because you are part of me. You are part of me. And because of the fact that you came in third place. Now, we're going to do something about that, and you can do it today. I will be at Freedom Center, and you can come up there and bring your donation. A lot of you have been talking. You say, Miss Luper, I'm so tired of you all begging for money. Well, I'm tired of you not begging for money. I'm tired of you not providing opportunities for our young people. I'm tired of you complaining. And I'm tired of you that have lived in Oklahoma City all these years, and we cannot take a visitor anywhere to show anything that blacks have done and the contributions that they have made. Now, don't you come up to me telling me how tired you are. You are tired, sure, you are tired of doing nothing. And the more you do nothing, the tighter you get. I want you to, and in reading that list of people that have made contributions, I'm surprised many of you have not contributed one dime. But I want you to go by Freedom Center and see for yourself.
Mom, you might as well get used to being in third place, either farther back, because we're coming up.
Do you think all my children are going to let me be in third place?
All
and all my
children,
people in the Fifth Street Baptist
show.
Church?
I'm telling you what's going to happen in reality.
Okay. We come now to a very important moment in our program because we're going to remember one of our friends and a friend of humanity, John H. Lawton. The son of Mr. and Mrs. Henry Lawton was born in a little town known as Smithville, Oklahoma. The family moved to Oklahoma City and he attended public school in Oklahoma City. But he was concerned with his religious growth and became a member of the St. John's Missionary Baptist Church and remained a faithful member. He went into the United States Army, went up to a technical sergeant. And then when he got out of the Army, he decided that he was going to be his own boss and became a professional brick contractor. 1962, he married the lovely Maggie L. Cartwright, one of our outstanding barbers. He was a member of the Cucumber Club. But this week, Thursday on January the 23rd at 11 o'clock, a large number of people with Reverend Marvin Tyler officiating say goodbye to John H. Lawton. And today we would like to express our sympathy to his devoted wife, Maggie, to his son, Henry Clay Lawton of Kansas City, to his other relatives. And we know one thing. John H. Lawton picked up the torch that had been handed to him by Booker T. Washington and others, that a man can use his hands and become a great professional. The Old Testament was read by Reverend Fred Elkins, the New Testament by Reverend James O. Bradford, and then there was a prayer by Reverend E.W. Bryant, and then remarks, finally the eulogy by Reverend Lee A. Benson, and people remember the solo by Thomas Bird. Yes, the law of Mr. Lawton has left a legacy. Look at the homes that he has built and the lives of people that he has touched. And I do have a thank you note from Mrs. Lawton, so sweet, so humble. Mrs. Lawton would like to take this opportunity to say thanks to all of you because you remembered her. You remembered her with cards, with visits, with flowers. You remembered her with kind words. And she shall never forget you. From Mrs. Lawton and family, thank you. This is Clara Luper saying to you that next week is an exciting week, and we will be with you. And on behalf of Sir Charles Taylor, on behalf of the largest store now on the east side of Oklahoma City, IGA, we would like to say thank you. And next week, we will be talking to you. In the meantime, congratulations, deacons. We love you wherever you are. Bye-bye.